Right, hello, we're back. We're very consistent. This is episode 3 of Quick Talking. I'm here with, of course, Owen, and as soon as I start recording and start getting a phone call, I'm going to hang that up. Don't worry, we can carry on. Right, okay, this is why we are professionals. Anyways, this week we've got a little bit to talk about. We're so late to this. We've been very busy recently, but we have got an extensive discussion about Captain Marvel that we're going to talk about at the end.
Oh, is it Captain Marvel or is it Miss Marvel?
Right, shut up. we'll get to that, right? Other stuff going on at the minute. I've got a lot of things going on in my life, and I think Owen has got a lot of nothing going on in his life. So we
don't have to say that. I've got stuff going on. I had the same thing going on that you have for the past 8 weeks, as we did that charity boxing
we should
match.
Probably talk about that, because we've plugged it every week, haven't we?
Yeah, so we haven't actually talked about it. But So for the people that don't know, there's this charity thing in the UK, if you're overseas. It's an ultra white collar boxing event, and they do it all around the UK. And essentially, we did the one that was the closest to us. I want to say that.
Yeah,
that's actually a lie.
Yeah.
But I think the Reading one is actually closer.
I would argue otherwise.
But so it's 8 weeks worth of training for free, and at the end of it, there's this big event where you invite all your friends and family to raise money for cancer research.
All of your friends and family.
All of everybody else's friends and family, and I invited 2 people. So
Aaron's dad.
It was great. I had a hell of a lot less people to disappoint when it came around to actually losing the fight. So
yeah. So spoilers. we both lost.
Yeah, it was myself, you, Ryan, and Jack.
A good friend of ours.
Yeah, close friends. He won his fight, but we unfortunately lost our fight.
Of course he won his fight.
In fairness, he was going against the whitest Windsor boy in the world, who actually, really nice guy, because we went clubbing with him afterwards.
I forgot
we
he was
found him
there.
clubbing. He was a great guy.
I also put the fear of death in him beforehand, didn't I?
Yeah.
We were stood around talking, being really nice, and I thought, I'm going to help Jack out. And I just went, by the way, that guy Jack you're up against, he's been training 6 days a week. And instantly you saw the blood rush from his face. And that was about 2 hours before his fight even started.
Yeah.
So he was just stood in the corner thinking about that. It was hilarious.
And then Jack turned up behind him and had a decent conversation with him. But yeah, great cause. Raised quite a lot of money. I actually need to get Vodafone to match it.
Our event on its own has raised over £36,000.
Which is, if I'm right, the most money from one of these events that they've raised.
From Windsor.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I think it's only going to go up because all the videos are going to start coming out now. And I think people are going to be more inclined to donate when they see us getting beat the crap out of, rather than just hearing about it.
Yeah, I don't think a lot more people that I know will donate from it. But
I reckon we'll hit 40k.
Yeah, I'd imagine that.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people, if they've got fund matching like I do from the company that they work for, then it will double instantly. So as soon as that happens, then I'd imagine we've probably smashed it. But
yeah, but otherwise, there's not a lot more to say about that. In our fights, they had to stop my fight. I got severely beaten. My head guard wasn't fitted properly, slipped round, and I got hooked in the side of the head, and was clearly wobbling.
Yeah,
so they stopped it. Owen's fight was the bloodiest fight of the night. It was so dirty,
yeah, it was great.
Because you popped his nose first round.
I broke his nose. Yeah. I spoke to him afterwards. He's like, "Yeah, it's broken." I'm like, "Oh no!"
And it was proper gushing, this other guy's nose. And then second round, in the spirit of Owen's training, which he burst his nose twice.
Yeah.
In the second round, he then burst his own nose as well.
Okay, let's just go back a little bit. I had chronic nosebleeds as a kid, so getting hit in the nose, it was going to bleed anyway.
Yeah, wow.
He could have tapped me in any way whatsoever. And looking back on the videos that he sent me, he didn't actually... I think he hit me once in the nose. It wasn't a hard one. I was perfectly fine afterwards. So...
It was a really good night.
It was a great night.
The emotions are flowing. The doctor sits you down and goes, don't drink for 24 hours after this. We went out clubbing afterwards. You know how much money I spent?
I don't know how much you spend, but I spent quite a lot.
I don't have that money that I spent. But yeah, that's about it though, really, with the boxing, I think.
That's true.
But another milestone recently, wasn't there, Owen?
Was there? Oh, God. Oh, yeah. You turned 20.
Yes.
A couple of days ago.
Yesterday.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I work full time.
So happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday, Ryan.
Now, something I wanted to discuss with this podcast was sort of the opportunities you might have when you reach your 20s, because from knowing Owen now for over a year, he doesn't speak particularly fondly of being 20. Do you?
Look, so as soon as I turned 18, it was downhill. And I say that wholeheartedly. I haven't had a decent birthday since 18. It's so shit every year. You become an adult and you have to do all these taxes and you have to have a real job and you have to
sitting on a bouncy ball.
You have to not be a disappointment to your parents, and it's dreadful. And you get to enjoy this now too. Although 20 hasn't been a terrible year, I'm looking forward to turning 21 in August.
Yeah,
because that's my last good birthday.
I'm starting 20 strong, and you're going to finish it strong because we do our travelling just before you finish. Being 20, so I don't think it'll be so bad. Oh, really? That wasn't mine. Okay. Yeah. So, in fairness, I think probably not turning 18, but that year of me being 18 might have been the most fun year of my life so far.
Yeah, you're 18.
It was extraordinary. I was in the pub 6 days a week. It was amazing. I don't know how I was clubbing every weekend. I don't know where I got that money from. It was great.
I could never. Somehow I managed to afford it, even though I didn't have that sort of lifestyle until I was about 19.
Actually, I do know how I could afford it. It was because I used to work at Legoland, and I used to work 16 hours a day, 14 hours a day, 6 days a week. That's where my money came from.
Yes.
Yeah, and I had no bills or anything, so it was great. But yeah, 2 20-year-olds now, for now.
Give it a few months.
We want to see how depressing it gets. I think personally it's going to be a strong year. But if you're 20 or you've been 20, let us know what you thought of it.
Is it a good year? I don't know. It's all going to blur for me.
Try not to bum us out too much though. Right.
Oh, you can't bum me out
spoilers.
Any spoilers? No spoilers for when you're 21.
I know I dropped you in it first episode, but... Right. Okay, right. On that note, I also got a new job recently. I got loads of things recently.
You got 100 jobs.
Yeah.
This is one of them.
So, I'm not going to share too many details about my work, but let's just say I work in a school. And I've recently learned that kids might be the funniest things on this planet.
That's why they keep them all in one place.
On my first day, I had a kid it was a silent classroom, I had a kid very loudly say across the room to his friend, "Are you yeast?"
Are you what?
And I was like, what does that mean? Is this some new slang? And then a couple of seconds later he goes, "Because you're inbred." And I was like, that's amazing. I will not give him a detention for that because it was so clever. Fuck it, house point.
In fact, we had that when we were.
But it was just, I wasn't expecting it. I just came out of nowhere. It was spectacular.
I guess to an extent you do think the worst of them, and when they come up with something good, it's like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Give you props for that.
But I've got a kid that now hates me, right? He'd taken something off another kid. I had control of the class at the time.
Yeah.
I was like, "Right, have you taken that?" He goes, "Yes." I went, "Can you give it back to him, please?" He goes, No, finders keepers. And I went, "You haven't found it though, have you? You've taken it off him." No, finders keepers. I'm like, no, this is not how this works. So eventually, I'm saying to him, "Right, you need to give it to me." I've got my hand held out and being very clear with him. And I went, "Right, give it to me, or I'll get head of year down to deal with you himself." Right?
Yeah.
Kid doesn't care. Right? Really doesn't get. He's just like, finders keepers. We've got about 10 minutes to the end of the lesson. Kid gets up, puts his backpack on, and goes towards the door. Right. So I sort of place myself in. So I place myself in between him and the door, and I'm like, "Where are you going, bud?" And he goes, "I'm leaving." I'm like, "No, you're not. I haven't dismissed you." I did the typical teacher thing of, the bell doesn't dismiss you, I dismiss you.
Which is a lie, but fine.
Right. Okay. And then he was like, "But I'm allowed." And I'm like, no, you're not. Right? And at our school, we've got these, there's some kids, and I think a lot of schools in the UK do it, where they've got, like, a card that if they want to leave the classroom because they're getting stressed out or something, they can use it.
Yeah, we used to have that.
An issue with this system is the kids are aware that this is now a get out of jail free card.
Yes.
So when he said to me, "Oh, I'm allowed. I've got this card," I was like, "Yeah, that's not how you use it. So I don't care. Go back to your seat. Like, tell me the reason you're using it because you're annoying me." And I'm like, "No, give him back his thing, right?" And then so the kid's like going, "You're an idiot." I'm like, "Okay, fine, whatever." Give him the thing back, and he goes, "You're annoying me." I went, "No, I'm not. I'm not annoying you." And then no word of lie, he must have called me an idiot 3 times, right? And then the next thing I know, because I step out of the way, because really and truly, I was only putting myself in the way to try and prevent him from leaving the classroom. However, you're not allowed to stop someone from leaving.
Yes.
So I step out of the way and I say to him, "Look, if you walk out that room, I will put you down for misuse of that card. I'll give you a behaviour point or whatever it is." Right? Yep. And he goes, "All right, idiot," and just flips me the bird and walks out of the room. This is a year 7, right? He's 11. And he flipped me the bird. I'm telling you, the year 7s at our place are the bravest people around. Like, we're a great school, genuinely. And, like, we've got year 11s year 7s that square off with the year 11s. In our school, if, like, you were a year 7 and year 11 got, like, rowdy with you, you would back down.
You'd be petrified.
So quick.
You'd be smacked.
It's ridiculous. These kids are so brave. And that kid then went to another member of staff and was like, "Oh, I'm annoyed. This teacher's done this." And I'm like, "Oh, what teacher was it?" And they go, "Mr. Stupid." Like, "I'm going to need you to be a bit more clear with that." "Mr. Stupid Pants." I'm like, what is going on? Yeah, so, but genuinely, I'm loving it. And actually, I'd say none of them are bad kids at our school anyways. They're all just loud. Kids are loud, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't think either, half the time. They're just loud for no reason.
Yeah, it's just them shouting at each other for no reason. But it's great fun, what I'm doing. So, I mean, it's only temporary, as we know.
Yeah, you'll be changing roles in September time. But.
Yeah, but... yeah, that's it for me in terms of that. Have you got anything going on at the minute you want to talk about?
Mate, I've got nothing going on at the moment. It's just... I'm trying to think of it. I always go blank.
You should probably tell them you've got something going on because they're going to be wondering, well, if he's got nothing on, why is this podcast not done early?
It's hard to get 2 people in a room, and especially since we've now moved location as well. We're in a different... we're actually at my place, whereas we used to be at your old place. So it's hard to get that sorted, especially I work full time.
Yeah, well, we both do now, and it was easier when I wasn't working because I would just turn up, wouldn't I?
No, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like it would be easy, but now I'm very poor and I'm working more, which is weird. That
yeah, no, it's not enjoyable.
Soon I won't be poor. Should we move on to the main attraction? I think we'll be on it for a while.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, how long are we in, roughly? About 30 minutes?
Yeah, like...
I think that'll be alright.
Quarter of an hour.
Right. Okay, we'll leave proper spoilers until the end, but...
Do it, like, in the last 10 minutes.
Just
spoilers.
be aware that there may be the odd Captain Marvel spoiler.
Why are you watching this if you don't want to hear about...
In fairness, it's been out a while now.
Yeah, it has. Well, how many weeks now?
2 weeks, I think.
Jeez.
So...
Let's just go for general... opinions first, because you've got a notebook and I have not got a notebook.
I do have a notebook. We went to see it twice in the first 2 days of it being out, didn't we?
Yeah. We watched it the first time. It was with Matt, and it was fine. But we realised that we wanted to go and watch it again so that we could. You wanted to bring a notepad that time so that you could get down everything that you were feeling.
Yeah, I mean, ironically, we were trying to be on the ball, weren't we? Because we were going to film right after, but actually, that was the day you'd got your nose busted during training, wasn't it? That's why we couldn't do it. Yeah. Okay, right off the bat, I don't hate it. It's going to sound like I hate it.
Okay, yeah, no, I agree.
Because it wasn't good.
Yes. Okay.
Right? Okay, as far as I'm concerned, no.
I'd like to... I'll preface my point with... So I don't dislike it. I'd say it's not a low tier Marvel movie. It's a mid to low tier Marvel movie.
I would say it's 4th worst, but
Yeah, but there's only like 20-something movies, so that would make it mid to low tier.
yeah, but there's between 4 and 5, I reckon there's a massive gap.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I don't like how it retconned a lot of things, but I see what they were going for, and it wasn't dreadful. My only thing is, it was a movie that had a lot of political stuff behind it before it even came out.
Actually, less than I was expecting. Still annoying, but less than I was expecting.
And it was very much focused, and they even said that it was focused for more women than anything else.
It came out on National Women's Day. Brie Larson was going around saying that men's opinion don't matter.
It was supposed to be pushing... Well, I don't think it was supposed to be pushing, but it was heavily implied it was going to be pushing a feminist agenda, which is fine. There's not an issue with that whatsoever. A lot of women I've spoken to didn't like it.
I can't wait to be called sexist for this, by the way. I'm just glad we weren't around when Black Panther reviews were coming out. Okay.
Or would have been labelled racist for it.
Should we tell them what the story is?
Sure, go for it.
Oh, so I'll do it then, shall I?
Okay. I mean, I can do it if you want.
Just trying to run it. So, jump straight in with Captain Marvel. She's got her powers, right? She's part of like a Kree, which is an alien task force that are attacking Skrulls, which are supposedly invading and ruining Kree life.
Yeah.
As it happens, she gets captured by the Skrulls, and she ends up escaping that ship and plummets into Earth. And then, whilst on Earth, she's trying to locate someone that the Skrulls made it clear they were looking for. And that's sort of where the story goes. And she's got powers and stuff.
You're missing out a very big point, is that she doesn't have her memory.
Yeah.
So the reason why she's on Earth is because... Well, I mean, it wasn't... They didn't really explain that. It was just the closest planet at the time.
Yeah.
A bit of a plot hole, but fine.
C-23.
So, yeah, she's looking for this person who the Skrulls are looking for, and coincidentally is in her brain. So it's kind of a self-gratification, and it's also to try...
I don't think it was coincidence. Well, they captured her for a reason.
Well, yeah, no, they did it. They did it on purpose so that they could. Yeah. They knew about it, but it's just this long story of how friendship is magic, and
Can we? I know I'm jumping ahead here. We talk about the music.
Sure.
It was so. Oh, it was so in your face. It was so. Oh, do you remember this from the 90s? Oh. And without telling you what the scene was, because that's a spoiler in itself. Come As You Are, in particular, what was that? What? It's just playing. And have you seen that it I think the film's set in 1982 and 1992, and Come As You Are came out in 1994 or something. So it's or something along those lines. Or no, it would have come out while she was off in space, so how would she have heard this? Okay. Something like that. Because all the dates are in the film.
The movie was oddly, apart from that, I'd say it was very accurate to the time period. So it was when she crash lands in this blockbuster, throwback to when they used to be a thing. But it was, I think the logo either had Blockbuster Video or Blockbuster, because the year that she supposedly landed was actually when they changed the name of Blockbuster. Oh, really? So they managed to get that right, and all the movies that she picked up as well, they were all from the era.
So did you know when she was in the shot, she shot, there was a full cardboard cutout of someone, and she shot it, and it seems like a weirdly out of place, why did she do that? Mm-hmm. So it was actually supposed to be a cardboard cutout of the mask, so it looked like a Skrull. Oh, right. But they couldn't get the rights. That would have been brilliant.
That would have been very good.
I would have been very happy with that. So I understand, yeah. But, yeah, I felt like the actual 90s aesthetic wasn't shoved down your throat.
No.
But the music was... a lot of it didn't need to be there and it didn't work.
I think they were trying to go for a kind of like a Thor Ragnarok kind of approach to the music.
Yeah, that or Guardians.
And they do really well for that, so I understand why they're doing that. What's the word?
Well, you can sell soundtracks, can't you?
Yeah, exactly. Guardians is great at it. Thor Ragnarok was great at it, and because it's in space as well, for part of it at least, Captain Marvel should have been as well. And for some of the songs, works. Others, I think, not so much.
So, right at the beginning, Stan Lee intro, like the Marvel sequence was replaced with all the Stan Lee cameos.
This is a bit more spoiler territory now, isn't it? Because we're going through.
I'd say it wasn't a spoiler just because it was right at the beginning.
I hope they keep it for Endgame. The Stan Lee intro.
They might, but I don't know. I thought it was nicely done. I can't complain.
It was very tasteful. I liked it.
Yeah, in terms of actors, all but one were really good.
Which one do you think was the worst? Would you say Brie Larson?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Captain Marvel herself was so deadpan, and actually, ironically, a couple of days later, I rewatched Kong Skull Island. She's in that.
Is she the same?
Was a good actress. So I don't know.
No, she is a good actress.
She's won an Oscar, isn't she?
Yeah, she is a very good actress.
I don't know what she was doing. I think it might be down to writing.
Either writing or direction. I don't know what they wanted to go for. I thought
the writing in this, like the story wasn't horrible. The actual, the conversations were deadpan. They were paint by numbers conversations, a lot of it.
I think very much her character, to make her more relatable, I think they made her quite deadpan so that you could project onto her quite a lot.
Yeah, but they didn't seem to pick her.
But she wasn't that relatable. So
every now and then she'd be sassy, and then she'd be like blunt and sarcastic. Like they were going for like she was almost half Tony Stark, half Chris Evans, which shouldn't be a thing.
No,
that's the point of them.
There's a reason.
Yeah,
why they're different.
I don't know why I named a character than an actor then, but
that's fine.
Yeah,
we understood what you meant.
It was like she was like at one point she's all about honour and she's blunt, and then next thing she's being sassy and clever and she thinks she's better than everyone. It's just what is this character?
Decide who you are. I get there might be some internal conflict because she doesn't actually know who she is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you should still have a personality.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been 6 years. You should have a personality.
The guy who plays Kalos, is it Ben Mendelsohn?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm impressed I got that. Other than the voice, which really got up my spine.
Which voice?
His Skrull voice, when he was all Cockney for some reason.
He wasn't Cockney.
It was Australian, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that is his voice. He is Australian.
It sounded ridiculous. Right, it sounded ridiculous. Other than that, he was really good. But like, oh man, that voice was just off-putting.
He also...
like something you'd see on High Five. Do you remember High Five?
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, that was an Australian kids show. It's terrible.
He also, he had one of the best parts as well.
I'd say he did have the best part.
Well, they were talking about his science guy. That was fucking great.
You're my science guy.
My boss hates Marvel movies. He had to go watch it with his kid, and he said that was the funniest part.
Yeah, we were laughing at that. And in a film where I'd say a lot of the jokes didn't land.
No, yeah, I agree.
It does make the jokes that did land much better. In terms of non-spoilers,
is there any? By the way, at the end of the movie, she wins. That's
yeah, believe it or not.
She helps the Skrulls, who aren't the bad guys, basically relocate. That's essentially.
Are we going into spoilers?
Yeah. Like I thought we kind of already had.
Okay, all right.
But I thought we'd give that's essentially what happens at the end, and from there you can kind of work out where she is. That's why at the end of Infinity War, she Nick Fury has to page her essentially because she's on a different planet at that point.
Okay, so now we're in spoiler territory. I have a notebook here in front of me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages of notes. Okay,
I'm glad.
Right,
I want you to read it, and then I'm going to give my opinion on it. A
lot of this is because I was so angry. Right, so
good.
Stanley intro, fine, cool.
I liked it.
Now, right at the beginning, she's on the ship, ready to go off to a mission, and there's like a hologram that shows the mission. Fine. However, the hologram gives them exposition about who the Skrulls are,
Yeah, which
and it was like they would know that. They're at war with them. They're like, oh, the Skrulls who infest our planets and blah. And it's like, why would you do that?
Yeah, you don't need to do
why?
that. I get why they did it. It's
their leader, Kalos. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Not needed, but I get why it's there.
So the Skrulls, a lot of them had this... I think they should have done some sort of like raspy voice for the Skrulls. Something that made them seem a bit more alien. Every time they talked, I kind of cringed. Because they looked so alien and then they just spoke like a normal person. Like Gollum, I would have seen. That would have worked.
Yeah, I get... Yeah, that makes sense, but I don't mind them having because they're supposed to... They can mimic humans.
Yeah, and that makes sense when they're a human. But I feel like when they're a Skrull, make them a bit more alien. Like, actually, would have gone further to believe they're a bad guy if they're going the whole time. Like...
Yeah.
They're just like, and the little ones. What were the little ones?
The kids, that's what little ones.
Well, they were working in the space station.
Yeah, kids. Were
they actually?
Yeah, they were kids.
That's ridiculous. Okay. There's a there's a flashback scene.
Right.
And she crashes for the record, actually, the flashback scene where they're going through her memories, that was really well done, I thought.
Yeah.
But she crashes her go-kart, and I assume it's her dad that runs over and starts having a go at her.
Yeah.
Your daughter has just cut herself up. Hug her. Yeah, no. What is that? And then during the flashback, there's a guy that's clearly very sexist. Oh, yeah, women can't fly. Actually, no, I remember the line. He says, do you know why they call it a cockpit?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Okay. Was it just me, or did he look exactly like Tom Cruise? Was that the point?
Yes, he did.
Was that the point?
That was the point.
Yeah, okay, right.
If not, then that's a heavy coincidence.
Oh, I cringed so much at this, and you had to watch it many times. So in the memories, they're trying to find out who the woman is. They're trying to look at the label on her shirt.
Yeah.
And the line is, pretty nice view, and then she goes, I prefer the view from up there. And then she has to say it about 6 times, and it was bad the first time. So it was like, kill me. It was, why? That was such a bad line. I don't know if you're aware, but I love flying. Or actually, what she's hinting at is the fact that she's got a spaceship up there, I suppose. But it's still bad. Like, I don't remember what that means. Just put, we're on our way. Weird noise interrogation. I don't know what that is.
I was going to say, was the...
Oh, hold on. So, when she's escaping the ship...
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
We have previously seen the Skrulls... shooting... at the Kree.
Yes.
So why did no one on the ship have a gun? They all came at her with bats.
I assume...
To keep her alive.
To keep her alive because of the plot. Because she's obviously related to Marvel, who they're trying to find.
Yeah. And then, like...
But that makes sense. Like, plot-wise, at the time, it doesn't look like that should... They should have had guns, but...
She had those things on her wrists.
Yes.
She literally says, how do I get these off? And then just takes them off. Like, shoots through them.
Plasma beams.
Yeah, whatever that is. I assume she doesn't, like, get hurt from falling, because she just fell in that blockbuster. There wasn't a scratch on her.
Yeah. Well, it's alien... I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot
She's
you can...
not an alien, is she? She's a human with Kree blood.
Is it? I don't think it's even Kree blood she has.
It's his blood. They explained that in the film.
Yeah, but he isn't completely Kree.
Oh, that would make sense, because he's not blue.
Yeah. They explain it in the comics, is that there's like these... I saw a video about it. They explain them as like peach-coloured Kree. So basically, humans is what they're trying to say. But it's a different, like, I want to say... It's basically a different race of Kree, if that makes sense. But I don't know.
The security guard outside the blockbuster was an overused trope of stupid fat security guard.
Yes. Listening
to 90s women's music. Ha ha ha. So when the Kree walk out of the sea...
Yeah.
Why was there a weird pervy butt shot of the girl when he changes into her? That seemed in bad taste. Did you notice?
I didn't notice.
It was like right there. And it just hung there for a bit and then it went up. I was like, not sure. That was like some Justice League Wonder Woman shot. That was. What's going on?
I didn't notice that at all. I've got a couple of things from the movie which I want to go over, but I'll wait until you get to it. But actually, no. Carry on.
I'm sure I'll get there. Right?
Yeah, I think.
So there's also a moment when she first meets Nick Fury, and she just starts talking to him like everything's obvious. And I couldn't help thinking, like, if you're some sort of task force, surely you should have training that species aren't going to know everything you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, she's just absolutely ridiculous with him.
Yes.
It was over the top, I thought. Unless that's just her personality. But that's what I've written down. Womansplaining is what I've written down. Right, okay.
Womansplaining.
That's what it felt like.
It was essentially mansplaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that. I think there's ways to talk it away. Like.
Yeah.
But yes.
So, and actually, on second viewing, there were some nice little scenes I did like. So, one of them being when the Kree's running away from her and he's getting on the train.
Yeah.
He stops and helps the old woman. And it's an early sign that the Kree might not actually... Not Kree, sorry. The Skrulls might not actually be...
Yeah.
The bad guys, which I only noticed it second time. Because first time I just thought, he's just done it to steal her identity. But actually, it's... Yeah, so that makes sense to me.
So actually, I'll interject there. So you know the Skrull who is chasing Captain Marvel on the train. Don't see him again for the rest of the movie. So that means that there is a Skrull still on Earth by the end of the movie.
I didn't spot that.
Yeah. Doesn't turn up again, but it doesn't die.
Yeah.
So when the beach scene happens, I believe there's 4 Skrulls. One of them dies in the car with Fury.
One of them in the hut at the end.
One of them dies at the hut at the end, which is the science guy. There's Talos. Is it Talos?
Kalos.
Yeah, and there's the other one, the train one, which doesn't turn up at the end.
Yeah, he disappears in the train station.
Yep. So it's just assumed that there's a Skrull left on Earth.
I'd like to analyse that shot and see if you see him walk out. I bet you there's a double somewhere in that shot. If they haven't, they've missed a trick there because that would have been so clever to do.
That's going to have to be like you'll have to replay that to try and work that out. But I agree.
So do you remember there was a point in the film when I just could not stop laughing and no one could work out why I was laughing?
Yes.
It's because Nick Fury just crashed 2 people, like civilians' cars like it was nothing and carried on driving. Like, what is that? Just, like, absolutely no problem. Yeah, fine, just killed those people. And I feel like, if I remember correctly, it was unnecessary as well.
I can't remember that at all.
Wow.
But that's why you were laughing. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I did think Ryan's lost it. He's complete. It's only 20 minutes into the movie and he's just laughing for no reason.
I've written, trust me, true believer. I don't know what that means. So, for what reason, the Skrull on the train, he gets up and then shows himself changing. Other than to show us that cool animation, why do you do that? Why change at all if you're going to do that?
I don't know.
It's not camouflage anymore, is it?
No.
Because he got up and did it. Like, he could have stayed down and there would have...
Yeah, I guess it was just a...
It was for effect. I thought Nick Fury's crash was quite cool to kill the Skrull. However...
I liked it.
However... he might be dead. Like, Sam, Nick Fury should probably be dead from that.
He should, and I think, I could be wrong, but based on the camera angles from it, so they're driving on the right-hand side of the road, correct?
Yeah.
So, based on that, he goes into the left-hand side of the traffic, and somehow the person who should be sitting on the right-hand side of the car gets hit. He should have been hit going into that traffic.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Because the cars are flipped over in the US. They drive on the right-hand side. They sit on the left. He should have been the one who... So he should have died because of the crash, one, and he should have died because he basically did the crash incorrectly.
Yeah.
It just... No, it wouldn't have worked.
I've just written scroll in a suit. I don't know.
Scroll in a suit. You talking about...
I don't know. I have no idea what that meant.
I asked you if any of this was legible, and you were like, yeah,
most of it
fine.
is. Most of it is. The internet cafe was fine. I thought it was a good note. I don't know why I've written that, really.
I thought the internet cafe was alright.
Right.
Go on then.
Okay, right.
You have the point. Do it.
Men are trash, okay? Man pulls up outside on a motorbike and is so in-your-face sexist.
Yeah.
And I hated it.
No, yeah.
It was so... Oh, give us a smile, babe. I was like, what is... That's it. That was my review of...
I assume it was supposed to be an accurate representation of the time, I guess. But at the same time, I don't know anybody that does that. Actually, no, I know a few people.
And what the film is saying is that if a man is rude to you, steal his motorbike.
Yeah, steal his stuff and rob the store next door.
She robbed the store, yeah. Also, does that mean she walked past him and used the toilets to get changed? And then where was the flight suit she was in?
I don't know. I think the bike had packs.
I did spot that.
So I assume that's where she... But that's just... I don't know. That was my brain trying to fill in the gaps.
Why get changed?
I assume that scene originally was going to be she takes his bike and steals his clothes.
Yeah.
But then they went, no.
Oh, like a Terminator. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Terminator reference. But...
Because there were a lot of references in this movie. So on the train, and you see Stan Lee again, the actual Stan Lee cameo.
True Believer. That's why I wrote True Believer.
He's reading the script for a movie he stars in that year.
Oh, is it the Mallrats thing?
Yeah. He's got a cameo in it where he says...
Yeah, he's on his way to... The idea is he's supposed to be on his way to it.
He's reading the script for it. So I can't remember the name of the guy who wrote it or
Kevin
something.
Smith.
Yeah, but he loved it. Apparently it had him in tears because of how cool it was that they managed to fit that Easter egg in.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense now. But yeah, just in terms of why did she change her clothes? Like, up until this point, she's made no effort to conceal herself.
No, yeah.
So I didn't get that. Oh, yeah, sorry. So she goes to this bar, asks where the airport is, and then...
she asks where that plane is from.
Nick Fury walks in, looks at the bartender, and the bartender just disappears.
Yeah.
What? Like, it didn't even say anything to him. He's just like, yes, this is where I must leave. What was that? I just didn't get it. And then, oh yeah, she's just breaking shit in the like, she's a shit person. Like, she's just breaking shit in this bar. Like, how can I tell you're a scroll? And she just smashes the place up.
Yeah. Photon blasts the machine behind her.
Also, thought that wasn't particularly reliable.
He was also right. How what does that prove?
Yeah.
Literally nothing.
I did like the joke about how he can't eat toast if it's in a triangle.
That
was just before.
Yes. But, so it's true, and it's canon in the universe as well, because when he's in Hawkeye's place, seeing Tony Stark and everybody else in, which one is it, Age of Ultron?
Yeah.
He cuts it in half as opposed to diagonally. There's a lot of weird tidbits. So it's the same with the Flergen at the end. Flergen?
The Flergen.
And it eats the Tesseract.
Yeah.
That's in reference to when Natasha goes to find Bruce Banner and he says, "What does Nick Fury want me to do with it? Swallow it."
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Like, there's a lot of references, but I feel like it relies on it a bit too much at points.
Okay. All right. I've just written, Mum. So Fury's saying, apparently his mum calls him Fury rather than Nick.
Nicholas Joseph Fury.
Yeah. What was the point of that scene? I didn't get it.
I don't know, but that's.
Oh no, I do know the point of that scene. The point he's making is that nobody ever calls him Nick, and then later on, the guy calls him Nicholas. So it's clearly a scroll. I do get the point. However, I feel like that could have been done better. Like, your mum doesn't call you Fury.
And Tony Stark almost definitely calls you Nick during the movies. After that, so.
But that is after. Cut him some slack.
Fine, whatever. Yeah. I guess he can't see the future.
Yeah, I can't see anything.
Hey, he can out of one eye. Last time he trusted someone, he lost an eye.
So they let him in, right? They've got clearance.
Yeah.
Actually, he makes it very clear that he's got clearance. Why'd they lock him in a room? And what was their plan there?
So, so he's got clearance, but he's only got a certain amount of clearance, and it's if you noticed on his ID card, he's only a level 3 in Shield. In the later movies, he's a level 10.
Yeah.
So he has more access to everything. So it might have been that it was flagged up that he was there with this random person. But then again, he reported back to S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
to get his fake boss over there. And then subsequently get beaten the shit out of.
And I shouldn't need to explain this, based on what we just said, but I've just written, sellotape is bullshit.
Sellotape is bull. Okay.
That fingerprint thing, and they do it in so many films, right? Yeah. Doesn't work.
Yeah, okay.
If you get someone to touch your debit card and put some tape on it, you're not going to get a pristine fingerprint that you can then unlock their phone with.
No.
It just doesn't work. And it pissed me off.
Did they even have... I'm sure they probably did, but did they have that sort of fingerprint biometric security back in the...
Yeah, I think so, but it would have been like a box, like the size
80s?
of my head to do it.
When is this movie set? 80s, 90s?
90s.
Bloody hell.
Blockbuster, man.
Dumb.
Just happens to be the first file they look at is the one they're looking for.
Yeah.
Just written Nicholas Fury.
Nicholas. Oh, that's when in the elevator when he realises.
Oh yeah, no, that was a good scene. I genuinely thought it was a good scene.
The way he changed his tactic immediately when he realised that the guy was actually a Skrull was actually quite cool as well.
He said, like, what was he like we did in Venice or something? It wasn't Venice, but it was like we did in...
It wasn't Budapest, because Budapest is a different meme in the Marvel Universe. It was a bee. It had to be a bee, because he kept on saying he liked the bees. Bonazuela? I don't know.
No, definitely not.
I can't remember.
So...
I'd have to Google.
When they walk into that file room, motion censored lights, they all turn on, right? But then when there's the fight scene, they're turning on one at a time and they're coming off like... And it was all through the motion sensor. It was weird. Now, so they may have de-aged Sam Jackson for this.
Yes.
What they could not de-age was his old man run. Did you see it?
Yeah,
it was
I know.
So funny.
I know exactly what
He
you
just
mean.
does like a little hobble down the hall.
Can we also talk about the de-aging? Because the de-aging was actually very good in this movie for only Sam Jackson.
Yeah, it was about Coulson.
It was terrible in Coulson.
What, his eyebrows, man?
It was horrendous. I don't know how did they use the same technique? They can't have done, because it
looked like
bad.
an action man.
It just was wrong. It seemed wrong. But I don't know.
For all we know, he used to look like that, in fairness. He's always been bald to us.
Well, Coulson?
Yeah, maybe he used to look weird.
No, he looked...
Like the actor, I mean, not...
No, it can't have
Maybe
been.
he used to look like a toy. Like, you remember the old, really angry action figures? He looked like that.
I think the reason why is... I don't know what his... is it Greg? His name is Greg.
Clark Craig.
Clark...
Clark Craig, somewhat one of those.
Greg Clark? Something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know what his acting career is like, but I know for Nick Fury, they basically took Sam Jackson out of an older movie and then placed it over his face, which made him look so young.
Mm.
Which is probably why it looks so good as well.
Yeah.
If they didn't have that profile of Coulson, then that would make sense why it wasn't as good. But it was a sore, it just bad. It just looked bad.
So, that fight scene, though, between Kalos and as Ben Mendelsohn and Sam Jackson was insane. I thought it was really good.
It was good.
When he picked him up, threw him, and then kneed him, that might be the best move I've ever seen in my life. Mm. Like, completely implausible, but he's not human. Like, I genuinely thought it was really well done.
I liked how they handled the gun. So, is it Kalos?
Mm-hmm.
He had a gun, which Nick Fury then took off him, unloaded, and then threw to one side, and he picked it back up, assuming there'd still be something in it, and tried to shoot it.
Of course, because he didn't know,
Yeah. So, that was very smart. Yeah. I really enjoyed that. That was a good fight scene.
Yeah.
Easily the best scene in the Pegasus unit.
Might even be my favourite scene in the film.
Easily the best scene in that unit.
Yeah.
For anybody that didn't know, that Pegasus unit is probably the one in the beginning of the first Avengers movie, where the Tesseract is being held by Fury and a bunch of other people.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because that was also a Pegasus unit.
Yeah, and they drive out into the desert.
It's kind of... It should be all in the same sort of place, so it just makes sense that is the same area. Just a little bit of a tidbit there.
I've written down that there was some lip sync off. I can't remember what it was, though.
Would it have been when they get into the jet?
Maybe.
Whatever it is. The weird...
No, because I'm about to say about Coulson letting him go being dumb.
Oh, right.
But when they do get into the cockpit, as you were about to say, that was the worst CGI.
Of the cat?
No. Well, there is that, but just simply of them taking off. It looked like one of those shit simulator rides.
Yeah.
Like, it just looks so bad.
So that ship was supposed to be the step before the Quinjets, which is why it looks so similar.
Yeah.
I think it was supposed to be a couple of gens before. It's got a name very similar to it as well, but that's why they are so similar to the Quinjets, just in case you were wondering.
But then, yes, I have written cat CGI.
Yeah, cat CGI where it goes again because of the G-force.
Garfield.
Yeah, it just...
Like fucking Garfield.
It actually looked like part of the Garfield. Did you see the Garfield anime, the movies?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, no,
a few times.
Pretty much the same. You're talking about Ronan now.
So
you're getting onto the... so this is the point where we realise the Kree are bad.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or at least it starts being evident that the Kree aren't all that good.
Ronan weirdly looked like he was being played by a different guy, but he wasn't.
Yes.
I don't know what that was about.
I know what it is.
He's not got the face markings.
In Guardians, he had black face markings, which he doesn't in this movie. But
because he's not a terrorist yet.
He is being played by the same person.
Yeah, I know.
Googled it afterwards.
Yeah.
It was so off-putting.
So what is Ronan's and Marvel's relation? Oh, sorry, not Marvel. Jude Law.
What are their relations?
What is their relationship?
So
because at one point he calls him Commander, and another point he's telling him, "No, if I find him, I'm going to blow him up." And it's like, well, you wouldn't say that's your commander.
So basically, as far as I'm aware, so Ronan is Ronan the Accuser. He's part of the Accusers.
Yeah.
Which is like an off branch of the Kree, which eventually I think kind of go rogue because they join Thanos.
Yeah.
And I think this movie is kind of the beginning of their complete betrayal of the Kree, even though they don't do it. I don't know. So I want to say they're on even footing, but I think at the time,
I think potentially they're like two different units.
I think they're like two different militaries in that sort of sense. Like,
yeah, so almost because they're like a task force. Like Jude Law's lot. They go in and they do, but then like the accusers basically just bomb the place.
Yeah,
so it was like
I think that is the difference.
Yeah,
I'd say Ronan probably had better clearance and everything. He's probably higher up the Kree. Yeah, he's probably higher up the Kree.
It was weird that he called him Commander.
Yeah,
that's what threw me.
I don't know. It's odd that the Kree haven't really been explored all that well, and I think that might be because it's going to come up in a secondary movie, which they're already talking about. But I don't know.
I've written Sam's right species. I don't know what that means.
Sam's right species. What does that mean?
I don't know.
That means nothing.
Oh, okay. So to show her friend that she's got powers, she boils the kettle with her hand.
Yes.
And then Sam Jackson says a line, which might be the funniest line in the film, and it's also the most sexist line in the film. And he goes, "She can do a lot more than make tea with those hands." And it was brilliant. And it was, I don't even think they meant that, you know?
No, I don't think they did.
I don't think they did.
It got me both times because it's just so out there. I know what you mean about Sam is right.
Okay, go on.
Because they are talking to two humans about a different species of aliens.
Yeah.
And how they shapeshift and everything. And that's not really the information they should be giving to two random people.
Oh, yeah. It's like, maybe we should keep this subtle.
Yeah.
No.
And then she continues to not be subtle about it. Have a look at this. I can boil a kettle with my hand.
So when she's looking through the old pictures that they've kept of her, fair enough, I get that.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so like, look, we're strong women. On Halloween, we've only ever dressed up as Amelia Earhart and Janine Jurgen, or whatever her name was. Janine Joplin, I think it is.
Yes.
Like, oh, look, we've only ever dressed up as strong women. Like, in reality, that girl would have had a cloth on her head and she would have been a fucking ghost. Like,
yeah.
Shut up.
I get what you mean. That's fair enough.
Yeah, the neighbour scene, a lot of people hate it. I actually found it very funny.
It was really cringy.
Did you not like it?
I hated it.
I thought it was funny.
But the thing is because I don't like that sort of cringy stuff. Because you're like, oh no, that is definitely just a regular neighbour.
I think they should have taken it further.
Just smacked.
I would have really laughed. Borrow some what was that? Borrow some sugar.
The first thing he said,
that was good. I like
you should
that.
be nicer to your neighbours because you never know when you need to borrow some sugar. That's a good line.
Yeah, Ben Mendelsohn instantly captivating the room.
Coming in with his little stripy cup, similar to it's a cup that Sam Jackson has in one of his movies. That's another nod.
Well, I absolutely creased when she puts her hand up to like shoot and he goes, careful with those jazz hands. It's like, okay.
His sort of sassiness worked, hers didn't.
And he's slurping through the straw. Oh, so he goes, you might want to be careful, and like points to the fact that there's a Skrull outside that's going to kill their daughter. And Sam goes, you sure? And like, it's like, right, okay, Nick Fury, you need to calm down.
Nick clearly hasn't had a lot of experience in diffusing situations.
It just seems like he doesn't give a shit about the girl. It's like, yeah, I'm going to shoot you anyway. I think he says something about like splatting his brains on the wall as well.
A bit morbid.
So him being scared of the cat, I thought was a good joke. But the fact that he was like, "That's not a cat. What's a cat? It's a flurgan." And then it turned out it was eventually.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sat around the computer. What's it doing?
Huh?
It's loading.
Yes.
That was a bad scene. That wasn't funny. We know what loading is. We're not.
Yeah.
Like that's. No, I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I got why they thought him. I think it was because
that was a joke for the adults.
I think it's because this film's made by 30, 40-year-olds, and they thought, because kids won't know what it is, so that'll be really funny. And like, no, kids know what loading is. We're not. Oh, so there's a space battle. So they fly. It's when they're watching it on the computer.
Yeah.
And they fly up, and suddenly they start getting shot at and everything. But they're so calm. Like
oddly calm.
Oh, we need to get away. They're here for me. And it's like, you would be scared. What are you doing?
Yeah, because up until this point, Carol's job is just a tester. They've already established that she, like, because of the sexism at the time, she can actually be a
Well, you'd at least
pilot.
be intense, though.
No, yeah.
You'd
still... You'd shit yourself.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? That is a laser beam. This is the 90s.
Yeah. And
we're in space. Or
first thing she says to her, after they crash, I believe, I never should have brought you along. No, yeah, obviously, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why you did.
Correct.
You didn't need her. I don't know why you did that. So they crash what is supposed to be a jet that can fly at light speed, okay? Yes. She comes out with a nosebleed. Right?
It doesn't fly at light speed during the fight, otherwise...
My point is, it's a jet that crashes, and Brie Larson has no injuries, and the other one just has a fucking nosebleed.
She didn't brace herself. The other Marvel did not brace herself. You could see her head like bobbing around, like there was fucking nothing going on.
Also, okay, so the whole point of this film rests on the crux of this lightspeed engine will end. Like, this is about ending wars.
This is ending a war.
She says, this isn't about fighting wars. This is about ending wars.
Yes.
Okay?
Fine.
How? How will that end a war?
No.
It doesn't make any sense. Really annoyed me. I didn't get it. And then I've written, no, wait, okay, why doesn't he shoot her? All in capitals.
Yeah.
Oh, no. So those are two different bits. Because...
She says no way, and then he just doesn't shoot her.
Yeah. Why didn't he shoot her? Why doesn't he shoot her? What could he possibly want to talk about this human with?
Let's also... Okay, so this particular part really annoys me. Her backstory just doesn't make any sense. And I'll explain why it doesn't make any sense, because later on in this movie, we find out that the Tesseract, which is supposed to be powering this machine, is in fucking space. How does the engine run without the fucking energy source? Riddle me this. How does that work? That doesn't work. She was hit by random photon blasts that were supposed to be from the Tesseract. That's not how that... How?
No, because... So, it's the energy source.
No, it wasn't even the source. It was the engine. That's what they explained it as. They said, oh, you haven't got the source? You blew the engine. What was the engine running on then?
Oh, see, my understanding was they were essentially bottling the energy, if that makes sense.
I guess.
That was my... there were going to be like Tesseract batteries in that thing.
But still, at the if you think about it though, they've been saying this entire time that Captain Marvel is supposed to be now the most powerful Avenger. By that logic, she is no more powerful than Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, who both had kind of powers from a Infinity Stone.
Yeah.
She's at the same level as those guys.
Yeah, I mean, that and she doesn't take full damage.
I think, yeah, it's all a big plot hole there.
And just because in all superhero stories,
yes,
she just absorbed its power.
Yeah, no,
just
not how that works.
Just absorbed its power.
She'd be dead.
I can't wait for all the nukes to go off. I'm just going to stand near them and absorb their power. What the fuck? Oh, she does the stop teary eyes. I don't know who I am thing, which was...
It didn't even feel real either, because it was just... there was no acting behind it at all.
I think you're going to get asked in a minute why there's a car on the driveway.
That's right.
Please hold.
That's fine.
Okay, right, yeah.
We're back after that brief intermission.
We'll either edit that out or keep it in for shits and gigs. We'll see. She does the I don't know who I am thing. So why has the science guy got a lisp? But once again, a ridiculous voice on these scrolls.
I like the science guy.
I know you do.
That was the best joke. That was the best joke out of all of it.
Also, so all this shit's going down, and they're having a very serious conversation, and Nick Fury just shoves a load of food in his mouth as he's talking, and it was so against what the scene was. I didn't understand it.
I didn't notice that at all.
It really, it cracked me up. I've written leave. Oh yeah, why she left her daughter to die? She was right in the first place. She shouldn't be going on that mission. She has a daughter.
Oh, yeah.
And then her daughter's like, Mum, you're a pussy. And I was like, yeah, all right.
Okay, fine. Proof that...
I'll prove you I'm not a pussy. I'm going to go die.
Peer pressure does work, especially if it's your daughter.
Yeah, and...
Well, let's talk about the daughter quickly, because originally you came out the first time and thinking, that's going to be the next Iron Man.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
So her name...
Or at least a past version.
So what is it Maria Rambeau is the mum and correct, Monica Rambeau is the daughter. In the comics, Monica Rambeau is a character called Photon, who later becomes Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for them to kill off Brie Larson.
I don't think they'll do it. Well, it means whenever Captain Marvel runs out of juice, so give it 10 years, they'll probably replace her with a black woman.
Yeah. I
don't say that derogatorily, that's fine.
So they also bring up the Photon name a second time. So, at the end of it, they go... So Fury names it the Avengers Initiative. So Carol's fighter tag is Avenger. Monica's is Photon. So that's another hint to the comics and everything. There's origins to all of these fun things. Is there anything else?
I've written plane into spaceship. I don't know what that means.
Oh, they so when they were converting the plane into a spaceship, I don't know whether you understand the science behind that, but you're essentially taking a non-airtight vehicle and making it airtight.
Oh yeah.
And then having to supply oxygen to all of the humans.
And they did this in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, 20 minutes. They just went, the science guy.
Maybe overnight at a push.
I don't know how good these science guys are.
Pretty good.
But they got it done pretty fast. I guess it's a good reference to the fact that the Quinjets are also airtight for space.
Yeah.
Because the Hulk then fucks off on one.
Yeah.
In a later movie.
They end up talking about they work out that there's a big power source up there, and she literally just straight up goes, "Oh yeah." In her notes, she called it the Tesseract.
Yeah,
and it was like you looked at her notes for about 3 seconds.
Yeah, what? I understand what you've done there, but you didn't need to do that.
There's a shit family moment, I thought.
Oh,
I didn't feel
between
that.
the daughter and
people
the
are saying
father.
The woman playing is it Monica was really good, but I felt nothing.
Oh no, yeah, I didn't really. I didn't think that any of the family moments were all that good, even between the Skrulls at the end either.
So do all the Krees know they're bad guys?
I assume not.
Yeah, that's what I can want, because the whole team instantly switched to being bad people. I thought it would have been more interesting if someone oh really? What?
Yeah, no, I think they were just all following orders, and to them, at
but you
least,
say that, but they were kicking families on the floor and stuff, and it was
But it's because they're supposed to be Skrulls, and Skrulls. There's this big war that nobody's really been explained to. That actually it's a massive injustice.
Yeah, I suppose. Actually, I think that family moment comment was about when Kalos sees his wife.
Oh yeah, no,
that was really good.
Oh, did you think that was alright?
It was amazing that they managed to make puppets have emotions.
I get it. It's fine. I don't think it really plays that much into it. It makes them more human, which they were really struggling to do that so far.
Yeah.
But, hey ho, it's fine.
I've now written, why Nirvana? This scene is horrible. That whole scene where she was fighting the smartness thing.
Yeah.
Go on. Right. Yeah. This scene is horrible. That whole thing where they were in the bloody. Whatever that was, it was called the Global Intelligence or something.
Yeah.
And it was just horrific. And she throws her into a wall and stuff, and it's playing "Come As You Are" by Nirvana. It's just horrible. And that actress, she might be a good actress out of it. She was the worst part of that film. Acting wise, she was terrible. She was so flat. And then they do a Purcell advert. I've written Purcell advert.
No, I get what you mean.
All the flashbacks of her getting knocked down, but she got back up again because she's a strong woman. I actually don't think they pushed the woman thing too in your face, but the shot itself was horrific and reminded me of make your whites whiter.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. It was in aid to try and make her more relatable, which I think they were trying to do throughout this entire movie, so that young girls could project onto her, but they failed.
Well, I think a lot of people actually felt that.
What?
I think it's just us pessimists that didn't feel that.
What, that scene?
Yeah.
No, I don't think... I know.
From what I've seen, some people thought that was one of the best scenes in the movie.
Look, I have an overall quite, I'd say quite optimistic view of the movie. I don't think it was bad. I don't think it was the worst Marvel movie. But there were just scenes in there. For example, the Purcell advert. It just didn't make any sense. That movie would have been fine without it.
Yeah.
In fact, I'd say it would be better without it. I understand the internal struggle, or you just need to fix it. They needed to do it a different way.
Then she does the whole "My name is Carol."
No, that was dumb. Forced.
Yeah.
Terrible writing. That's not the character's fault.
Somebody. So they all start fighting. One of the better fight scenes. Give you that. But somebody just shoot her, please. Why is nobody shooting her? There's literally a sniper character.
And
she goes off in the plane. I'll give you that.
Okay.
But still.
Why did the... Okay, fine.
Because the Skrulls weren't escaping yet, were they?
No, they weren't.
No, she would have been there. Yeah, nobody shot her. Right.
Where are the guns?
Absolute trash CGI.
Past that point, yeah. It wasn't good.
Her in a Super Saiyan form, or Gold Sonic, or whatever you want to call it, right? It just became a cartoon for the last 10 minutes. I couldn't do it. And then the lunchbox thing, and they opened the lunchbox and he goes, I could have sworn I put it in there. But she doesn't say I could have sworn I put it in there. She says I could have swear I put it in there, which is wrong grammar, and it bugs me both times. It really annoyed me. Tell me if I'm wrong, listeners, about that. I could have swear I put it in there.
I mean, unless it's like I could swear I'd put it.
No. I promise you, I was listening for it. I wrote down exactly what she said.
That's bad. That's just poor.
And then this the entire team gets sucked out of an airlock. That's how she beats them. Gets sucked out of an airlock. Right. There's not, and I checked the second time because I had a theory after the first one. There's not a single explosion in this film that someone doesn't fly through afterwards.
Is it not?
No. Now, in reality, if you flew through an explosion, explosions don't make things disappear.
No.
They're as full of debris, and you would blow up 9 times out of 10, and every single one. I think I started a tally actually, but then I ended it. Because I couldn't be bothered. But, that was really getting to me. She does the hand punch thing.
In front of Ronan. Yeah.
Oh.
No, yeah, dumb. And then it was after she'd done relatively alright against all of their space nukes. Way to ruin a moment.
So this is the moment that everyone's talking about.
Which moment?
The moment.
Oh. Yeah.
He scratched his eye out with a cat.
Yeah.
That's how he did it.
So the thing is there were trailers of this movie beforehand, and people on Twitter were all saying, wouldn't it be really funny if the cat scratched the eye out? Turns out, it's true. It happened. It's now canon. Thank you, Marvel. Very cool. Why?
Last time I trusted somebody, I lost an eye.
You trusted a cat.
That's ruined now. If you want to play this game, you've got to keep both eyes open.
It's... Fine.
No, it's not fine. I actually was laughing when it initially happened. I did find it funny. And then I realised...
How much?
But this isn't an isolated thing. Like, this is. It's just like his character was sort of. He's not completely a joke, but a lot of it's become a joke.
Yeah.
And I was just.
You're so used to Nick Fury being so serious and everything, and then he falls in love with a cat. Cat turns out to be an alien, and then the alien scratches his eye.
I have missed something that I haven't written down. Because I remember getting mad. Before they fly off into space, she lets the kid change the colour of her suit.
Yeah, I don't know how
did it works. How did it... there's no system there. There's no UI. It just sort of happens.
Yeah, it's... I get that a lot of the colour... Like, you could have easily mitigated that scene, but I get that a lot of the colour schemes they were going for were previous colour schemes of Captain Marvel, but again, you didn't need that.
Yeah. I've written, don't ever change your eyes. I don't know what that means.
Don't ever change...
No idea. And then somebody's... the kid says maybe I'll build a spaceship. Hint, hint, she probably will.
She's going to become Photon. Maybe. Who knows?
And then... I've just written face shield. And I'm not entirely sure why. But...
Is that it? Have you got... Is it okay?
That's all my notes, yeah. But just at the end, when she flies off with the scrolls next to her... that ship moves at light speed, implying 1, she can move at light speed, 2, that they already had the capability on the ship, so why was she building that jet down below?
Oh, God.
Right?
Yeah, no, that's terrible. Oh, no.
And like everyone's got light speed anyway, don't they?
So no, they don't. So I thought about that at the beginning, but when they're actually getting places, they're actually jumping through portals, which is different. But actually, jumping through portals is a much faster way of getting places.
Right. So
when Rona's ship turns up, they come through these little hexagons, so you can see it's futuristic.
Okay. In terms of the Tesseract, I had to look up whether this worked or not, because...
It only just does.
Yeah, last I recalled was actually it being left on the ship in World War II, but actually Tony... is it Harold Stark?
Howard.
Howard Stark digs it up, that time, doesn't he? But he doesn't dig up Chris, apparently, for whatever reason.
Yeah. It falls when it comes out of Red Skull's hand somewhere over the ocean and just goes through the ship.
Yeah.
So in that time that Steve's trying to basically fly the plane for no apparent reason,
miles.
It would have been miles.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll let you off. Other than that,
suggests that it's somewhere far out at sea. How did he find that?
Yeah. Well, other than that, it's just end credits for me. I don't know if you've got anything else to add about.
I don't have anything else. What I would like to say is you haven't actually seen the new trailer, but I think the Russo brothers will do a better job of Captain Marvel as a character. I've already
heard that as well. Yeah.
You should have a look at the trailer. We'll talk about it next week. But I think that's why I'm okay with this movie, because I think it has a lot of potential for when other writers go for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah.
End credit scenes, one good, one bad?
Yeah.
One was unnecessary. It was the cat throwing up the Tesseract.
Yeah, which we knew was going to happen.
Yeah, you didn't need to show that. They clearly couldn't think of an idea, so they went, "I'll just bung this in."
What's another good end credit scene that isn't Chris Evans basically saying you waited around for no reason? Because I love that end credit scene.
Yeah. Most of them I'm alright with, but that was a bit rubbish.
Yeah.
And so obviously the Infinity War one was the key one, where she turns up with some messy hair because she's been flying so fast.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. That was fine.
It's just them waiting, I like that they've plugged the pager in and stuff to keep it going.
Yeah,
and they're talking about making it even more sustainable. And then she rocks up.
Then it stops and she's there. Ta-da!
So for me, what do I usually rate things out of? Is it 10 or 5? I can't remember.
Have we rated things out of?
I think I've done it once, maybe twice.
All right.
I think I did it for Umbrella Academy. I think it's 5. Run down the middle 3. Because actually, as a film, it's not horrible. It's just a lot of things that got up my back.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3 as well.
It's a low 3.
Yeah, if I was going to... I think for everything else, we've just kind of said watch it or don't watch it. I watch it for... Endgame.
Watch it, yeah.
Watch it for Endgame.
Yeah.
If anything, it'll just let you know a little bit more about the character, so you won't be going in completely blind when this supposedly all-powerful character just turns up out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, I'd say it's better than Iron Man 2, worse than Captain America, the First Avenger.
Worse than... Yeah, that's fair enough.
That would be my
That's probably about...
placement.
I'm trying to... I have
not directly in between them, but I would say if you're looking... for comparison, I think we are going to rank all of them at some point.
Yeah, we need to.
But that'll be closer to Infinity War.
I will, when that comes around, I will rank it at that point. But all I know is it was better than Thor: Dark World and not as good as Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, there's no argument there.
Spider-Man: Homecoming for me is a mid-tier Marvel movie, but that's because it's Sony as well.
Okay,
so
I'm interested to see where we tally things actually. Right, so that will be today's episode. I appreciate it's probably by the time this is up, 3 weeks late. But, we get one view a video, so It doesn't really matter.
Thank you for watching, Aaron.
Yes.
And just Aaron.
All of our plugs will be down below. I'm at Ryan Whittleton. You're at Owen Cheds.
Yep, Owen Cheds.
Yeah. Email us in. We genuinely would like either feedback...
Just comments
we do have an email, but I think you can message on YouTube. But our email's at quicktalkingpodcast at gmail.com. That's easy enough for you. ideas on what to do, fan theories for Game of Thrones. That's soon.
Yep. That is in...
We are...
Don't want to age the recording, but that is literally in about 17 days.
Yeah, we're very ready for that. And we literally haven't gone a podcast without talking about it. We haven't quite worked out how we're going to go about it, but we're...
Endgame trailer next week. We'll try and find some other topics to talk about as well, but we definitely need to that. Have you got one?
When not 100% announcement, I would like to show Owen a film called Get Out by Jordan Peele.
I'll give my
who people are
review
saying is pretty much, they think he might be the...
Is it the prequel to Us that's currently out?
He's the guy that did Psycho. The most famous horror name ever, and I can't think of it.
Yeah, I'm stuck for...
It doesn't matter. I'm saying he's going to be one of the next great directors that people will be studying in years' time. So I'd quite like to go see Us. So I'm going to show Owen Get Out, and then hopefully we'll go see Us. And we'll talk about that next week.
Cool. Perfect.
Right. Thank you very much, guys.
Okay. Bye.